Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play V to the 6. We're on episode 3 now. On the last part we rescued Victoria, and now we are going to explore the V6 dimension a little bit more, try to find some more levels and rescue some more crew members. It is definitely worth exploring the dimension as much as possible, just so you get a chance to find all the trinkets, find all the teleporters that are around that'll allow you to fast travel throughout the world, all that good stuff. So what we just did there was, I consulted the map until I found a spot where I could actually fall through the bottom of the screen and then come out the top, and that's one of the easiest ways to navigate from one side of the map to the other in this game. Rather than, like work your way across the entire map the right way, just do it Pac-Man style and come out the opposite side. Pac-Man or Asteroid style. And we luckily happened on another level here, and this is one of my favorite levels in the game, actually, the single screen known as the Tower. It's that kind of time-honored game tradition of just trying to outrun the screen which is trying to kill you. Both the top and the bottom of the screen, actually, so you also have to watch out for being too fast. I've always loved this kind of like race level that they sometimes include in platform games. I remember playing Crash Bandicoot when I was a little bit younger and just loving those levels where you actually like run at the screen. Where a boulder's chasing you, but in any case, it definitely works well in a 2D context as well. And I haven't mentioned this yet, but one of the things that I really love so much about this game is the fact that it controls so well. And I want to contrast this with a game that I'm Let's Playing concurrently with this, which is Gish, and just say, like, this game controls so much better than Gish, and I think it explains why when it comes to indie games, some games suck me in, other ones I don't find nearly as engrossing. This one I found engrossing right from the get-go, and I've been basically addicted to playing it ever since I was lucky enough to receive it. But a game like Gish, I really have to force myself to play more. I mean, it's fun, it's a good game, and it's extremely well made and definitely innovative and a novel concept and all that good stuff, but it just doesn't play as tight as this game. I mean, this is obviously a lot more simple of an idea than Gish is as well, and there's not any kind of like fluid or tar physics that are going into it. But I'm sorry to say, this just controls so much better. It's a much more enjoyable experience. So if it came down to, you had your last $5 and you were looking for Northern Lions' recommended indie game to purchase, I would say VVVVVV definitely comes out ahead over Gish, just simply for the fact that it controls so much better. And the reason that's so important is, particularly when you have a game like this that's really difficult, and part of the reason it's so fun is because it's difficult, you need that tight control so that the deaths you have never feel like the game's fault. And people always want to play challenging games. They never want to play unfair games, and it feels like a game is fucking you over just because it doesn't control the way that it's supposed to. That is an unfair game. In this game, everything is totally fair. When you die, it is your fault, not the controls. So we have found Vermillion, and, hopefully we are going to head back to the ship now by just going through this transporter, or teleporter, but I have a feeling that maybe we will have to do a bonus level after this, because that seems to usually happen after the second level. So we've rescued our second crew member, but only 2 remain, but there is still quite a lot left of the game to show off. Yep, so we have ended up in this new nether realm, this dark world. And these happen periodically as you play the game, and they are triggered when you beat a certain amount of levels. So 2 levels, 4 levels, so on and so forth. On this one, it's kind of like an escort mission, as strange as that sounds in a 2D platforming context. Basically, Vermilion will follow you when you're on the ground, but when you're in the air or on the ceiling, he will not. So you've got to guide him through these obstacles, keeping in mind that when you're on the floor, he's kind of attracted to you, and I didn't mean that in that way, you guys. But yeah, and when you're on the ceiling, he will not chase after you. So you've got to guide him through these obstacles, keeping that in mind at all times. I like this Vermilion guy, he's very optimistic. Last time I played this through, I had Victoria at this part, and she just bitched non-stop about how we were all gonna die. Like this guy, he's always got a smile on his face. It looks like he's optimistic. He's willing to handle any challenge that the world can throw at him. Although, unfortunately, at this point, I'm not the greatest escort for him to have, apparently. Alright, come on. Vermilion. Just sneak you through here. Probably the worst example. I got him decapitated by that robot hula hoop. Alright, now I think I've got the strategy down here. Come on, Vermilion. We're just gonna inch you forward and then rush you through. Inch you forward, rush you through. Excellent. So now the mechanic changes a little bit because we're on the same plane. Look at this guy, he's so happy. Yeah, we'll all be okay. This is a welcome change of pace. So now they introduce these platforms that we have to get Vermilion to walk on. And this is where things really get a little bit more complex, and I've been saying that a lot, but the reason is because the game does a really good job of creating a good difficulty curve that is not too steep, but is definitely not too shallow. You usually feel like you have the tools available to you to beat a level. You never feel like you're missing some sort of skill that you would develop later in the game. You've developed it on the previous stages, you just need to use it to your fullest capacity in order to make it work. Now this coming up is arguably the hardest puzzle on this stage, the do as I say, not as I do puzzle. What you gotta do here is preferably not give yourself a trepanation like I did right there. And, you know, we're gonna utilize gravity and walk along the bottom of these platforms, and then we're gonna guide Vermilion over, hopefully. Although he's quite a quick walker, so sometimes he will just kill himself on the spikes. Way to go, Ray Charles. Next time, look before you leap. Right, here we go, got him over, just inch him across, and send him along. Alright, good. Now the hard part is actually getting back ourselves, so we're gonna give this 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. And once you get back that way, it's a lot easier to get to the end of the stage, because you can just walk across the top. Always easier to deal with, you know, gravity that we understand from our life on Earth. Yeah, we must be close to a teleporter by now. Something makes me wonder how he knows that. It's almost like he's got some insider knowledge. There we go. So this one's a little bit tricky as well, just because it's hard to tell where Vermilion is going to stop, because he follows behind you at a set distance. So you've got to figure out where to stand to make sure you're both safe. So on that one, I just rushed through to the end, basically. And this one is the least dangerous puzzle, but also in some ways the most frustrating for me, because the answer was not quite clear. I wasn't thinking in the right context when I was doing this. I think if I just come up here, I can get him to fall down. Yeah, excellent. And then he will just run off on his own. Oh no, he will wait for me. And class dismissed, we have reached the end of the level. That is one of the more fun levels, and I usually find those bonus or epilogue levels among the best in the game. This one, no exception. So once we get back here, I'm going to talk to Victoria a little bit, because I have a feeling she's got a surprise for me if I just talk to her a little bit. What's she doing on the ceiling anyway? That can't possibly be good for her brain. Just one more time. Ah, yeah, you found it in the lab. So now we have 6 of the 20 trinkets, 14 left to go. And that should be an adventure when we find them. I'm not sure what they all do. We'll talk to Violet and then end the video. Thanks for watching.